Hey, everybody, and welcome to today. This is the final day of Personal Growth Week, but not the last day of your personal growth journey. And if you've ever been frustrated with the speed of your personal growth, maybe your marriage isn't improving at the same way that you hope it would be, not the same pace, you're not getting those fitness results you hope, you're not at the same pace you want to achieve in that race you're doing, well, I want to kind of give you some context to why that happens. I'll start with a story because I'm Irish and it's now March, so I can use all my stories. And any good Irish person will have at least 10 for every 1 point. So here we are. It was about 10 years ago, maybe more. And I did my first 360-degree assessment at work. And what that is an evaluation that you kind of put in your thoughts on yourself, and you get evaluated by those above you, your bosses, your peers at the same level, and then subordinates. Now, I thought I was doing pretty good. I'd had a little bit of a growth journey up to that point, and I said, this is totally good. I'm going to get some rock star results. And my coach, Ashley, she came up and said, Jim, here are your results. And I was pissed, like super pissed. Not angry or frustrated, but like, I can't believe people think this about me. Now, I had some good reviews too, but most of us will honestly gravitate towards the negative anyway. But I took it and I left the room and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I realized I had to make some adjustments. I took that as a point of information, just like maybe your point of information is the scale or what you're entering in MyFitnessPal or your results from that workout or your paycheck. Whatever the results are, those are lag measures. There are two types of measures when you're working towards a goal. A lead measure is point one. A lead measure are the things you do now. So if you're entering calories into MyFitnessPal, if you're tracking your weight, you're tracking your workouts, you're writing down how much you interact with your spouse. That is a lead measure, something you can control. The outcome is number two. That's called a lag measure. So a lag measure is the results of those lead measures over time. And what you want to do is evaluate, are you getting the lag measures you want after a period of time? Now, if you expect that you're going to lose 40 pounds in a month, probably not going to happen unless you stop eating and go to a desert vacation for a month. And also not recommended, death seems bad. So personal growth, we have these evaluations that come in with both lead and lag measures. So what happens for you, dear viewer? You get frustrated with the speed of growth. You want the ideal marriage, you want the physique, you want a bigger paycheck. So what do? Start to adjust your lead measures one by one and evaluate. For personal growth requires constant evaluation. I did 360 assessments after that initial one and saw a marked improvement year over year. So constantly assessing where you are. Now you might say, well, how do I do that in my marriage? Well, that's a little more difficult. It's qualitative, not quantitative. So qualitative means you're seeing how are you interacting. But you could also look at qualitative measures. When your spouse comes in, do they interact with you without being cajoled? Do they ask for date nights? What are some things that you believe you could measure? And I'd also communicate that to your spouse. Same thing with the gym. Maybe it's not weight loss. Maybe you're trying to bulk up and get huge. So if that's the case, perhaps your lead measure is adding little bits of weight or an extra rep to each one of your workouts. Those small changes that you might say, that's really small. Why should that matter? It matters big over time. The final point today I want to give, we went over lead lag measures, what to do and evaluate, but the final thing is grace. Now, we can grace ourselves out of growth. There are so many times I've talked to people who are like, well, I'm just giving myself grace. I just didn't need that workout, whatever it might be. Gracing yourself out of growth is always wrong, but sometimes grace is appropriate. Let's say you've worked really hard. You've done 60 hours of your main job. You came home, took care of kids. I know tons of single moms that do this. They're full up, going to a job, coming home, rocking their life, and they're exhausted. And they don't have the energy to do that activity, to go to the gym that day. That is grace appropriately. That's saying, okay, I'm going to let this go. But don't grace yourself out of growth. So that's also a balance. Where is the place where you need to take a break and recognize this is going to take a little longer than you'd hoped, a little longer than you'd planned. But that's okay, intermittently. Now, if you're gracing yourself every day and be like, oh, well, today is just the day, I'm not going to go again. Guess what? That's a complete failure. And you need to get yourself back on that treadmill and get going, the treadmill of life. So all this is to say, personal growth is highly, personal to you. You have to see what's working for you and in your life to help you hit those marks you want, to keep yourself accountable, but also to realize that the best athletes have off weeks, that sports that you notice have off seasons for recovery. Heck, even wrestling takes weeks off, and wrestling's the best. So today, go grow. Please join me this week because I'm going to talk about one of the best parts of recovery, and that's sleep. This whole coming week is about sleep with really practical application every day, designed specifically for those who are moms at home or dads at home with their kids, shift workers, nurses, and then those of us who work those 9 to 5 positions. So have a great day today. Be amazing, and thanks so much for viewing. Bye. Gonna try to shut it off without looking weird.